Hello children, let's start our maths class. We were continuing with exercise 3.12, yes? So in the previous class we have done some sums, that is we dealt with word problems from exercise 3.12. We have two more sums left in exercise 3.12. So let's try to complete today exercise 3.12. So what are you following in exercise 3.12? In exercise 3.12, we are just finding the value of unknown using different methods. That is, I have told you, you can find out the value of x using factorization method, or you can use completing the square method, or you can use a formula method. So it's up to you, whatever method you are comfortable with, you can just apply it and get the answer. So just use it properly children. If you have small numbers, you can use a T method or a factorization method. And if you have a numbers, bigger numbers, you just try to follow up the formula method so that your work is easy. Okay children, let's start our class. So we are going to continue with exercise 3.12. So take down your classwork, write down today's date, and write question number 7. Take down question number 7. Write neatly. I hope you have ready with your dates. You have written the date and your classwork is ready with you. Okay. Write down the question. Music is being played in two opposite galleries with certain group of people. In the first gallery, a group of 4 singers were singing, and in the second gallery, 9 singers were singing. The two galleries are separated by the distance of 70 meters. Where should a person stand for hearing the same intensity of the singer's voice? Hint, they have given a hint that we have to follow when we do the calculations. The ratio of the sound intensity is equal to the square of the ratio of their corresponding distance. So just take down the question. So I'll explain to you the different statements when we follow the steps. So do not waste your time. Write neatly. Everyone has to take down the question. You have to write the question and the answer. Nobody is directly going to write the answer. Have you taken on the question children? Okay, so let's start with the answer. Let's read the first statement. So what is given over here? Music is being played. So a music is being played in two opposite galleries. So you have two galleries over. You know the gallery, yes children? It's like a balcony. If you have seen, if you see the apartments or the flats, a gallery will be there so that the people come to the gallery and they can just have a view of the outside area. So a gallery, so two galleries. So we have some people in two opposite galleries. Okay, let's consider this is gallery 1. I'll put this as G1 and I'll take this as G2, that is gallery 2. Okay. Now there are some group of people. So some number of people are there. In the first gallery, a group of 4 singers were singing. So how many people are there in first gallery? 4 singers. Okay, I'll just put here 4. Okay. Now, in the second gallery, 9 singers were singing. How many people were singing? 9. So, see the condition children. So from the first statement, we come to know that a music is played in opposite gallery. So we have taken two opposite galleries as gallery 1 and gallery 2. Okay. So how many singers are there in gallery 1? 4. And how many singers are there in gallery 2? 9. Okay. So let's go for the next condition. The two galleries are separated by the distance of 70 meters. Okay. So what is the distance between these two galleries? It's 70 meters. Okay. Now, let's go for the next statement. Where should a person stand for hearing the same intensity of the singer's voice? So now what's the question is a person. So there is a person. So how should be the position of the person so that he is able to hear the sound, or he is able to hear the sound with the same intensity from both the galleries. I'll repeat the statement. Where should a person stand for hearing the same intensity of the singer's voice? So he should be able to hear the singer's voice with the same intensity. Same intensity means same sound. So we have to find out what is the distance he is going to stand from. Okay, suppose we know that the total distance, or the distance between two galleries is 70 meters. So we have to find out what is the actual position of the person, or where he should stand so that he can hear the singer's voice with the same intensity or same sound. Let's go for the sum so that when we go with the sum, you will get a clear idea of the question. So here they have given a hint. The hint is the ratio of the sound intensity. Okay, so the ratio of the sound intensity is equal to the square of the ratio of their corresponding distances. So I'll tell you how to make a statement from that. Before that, let's assume a person. Okay, I just don't know where he's standing. So let us assume a person who is standing at a distance of x. I don't know what is the distance. So we just assume the distance as x. So a person is standing over here. We have a person P who is standing at a distance of x. So if this is x, what will be this distance, children? See, if the total distance is 70 meters. Now where is the person standing? The person is standing at a distance of x. Okay. So what will be this distance taken as? Yes, good. It's 70 minus x, because left over. So 70 minus x plus x gets cancelled and you get the answer as 70. So if you from 70, if this part is x, the remaining part will be 70 minus x. So just fill the details children. This details you are going to draw with a pencil. I don't want you to draw this using pen. So use your pencil for drawing the figure. Already I have told you, whenever you attend your maths class, you have to be ready with your scale and pencil. So after your class starts, do not run over here and there for collecting the things. So just get ready with all the things that you need for your class. Okay. Have you drawn the figure, children? Let's move to the next part now. Now, let's come to the hint part. Coming to the hint part, the ratio of the sound intensity. The ratio of the sound intensity. In the gallery 1, that is the first gallery, how many people are there, children? Yeah, how many people are singing? Or 4 singers are singing. So you have to take the intensity of the 4 singer as 4K, or just put a constant here. We don't know what is the intensity going to be. And here we have 4. So you have to write as 4 into K. 4 into some constant. Okay. Ratio means numerator upon denominator. You have to write in the form of numerator upon denominator. So 4K. Okay. How many singers are there in gallery 2? Yes, you have 9. So how you will write the sound intensity as 9K? Yes, this is the ratio. The hint, the first hint. The ratio of the sound intensity. So ratio of the sound intensity from gallery 1 and from gallery 2. Okay. Now this is equal to the square of the ratio of their corresponding distance. This is equal to the square. We have to square. What are we going to square? You are going to square the corresponding distances. So what is the distance of a person from the first gallery? It is x. So you have to write here x square, because it's mentioned that it is the square of the corresponding distance. So for the person P from the gallery 1, what is the distance? X. So what is the square of x? X square. Okay. Now let's see the distance of a person from gallery 2. What is the distance, children, here? 70 minus x. 70 minus x the whole square. Do not write the square as 70 minus x square. This is totally wrong. Okay. So when you have to write the square, you use a bracket and mention your square. So 4k upon 9k is equal to x square upon 70 minus x the whole square. Okay, so we have used the hint and we have got an equation over here. Let's try to simplify it and get the answer. Now here 4k upon 9k. So what can be done, children? The kk gets cancelled. And let's see one more thing. Just do not go on simplifying or cross multiplying. We'll just do one work over here. Just observe the numbers carefully. 4 upon 9 x square upon 70 minus x the whole square. So now what are we going to do? When you just observe the number carefully, we see that all the numbers are square of a particular number or a particular variable. If I talk about 4 is a square of 2, yes. What about 9? 9 is a square of 3, yes. What about x square? X square is a square of x. What about 70 minus x square? 70 minus x square is a square of 70 minus x, because 2 times, it's repeating 2 times, so we have to take 1 time. So I just put here taking, or before I write taking square root, I just try to bring the variable on LHS part. So x square upon 70 minus x the whole square is equal to 4 upon 9. I have just shifted the variable on the LHS part. Just interchanging both of them. Okay, done. Now what I am going to do? I am going to take the square root on both sides. Let's take the square root. So taking square root on both sides. Okay, what do you get when you take square root on both sides? The square root and the square goes on. I just have one more extra step for you. Otherwise we would have done it directly, but for your understanding I am doing one extra step over here. So x square upon 70 minus x the whole square. This all comes under the square root, children, because I am going to take the square root on both the sides. This is equal to square root of 4 upon 9. I hope you are clear with this step, children. Okay, so x square upon 70 minus x the whole square under square root, and also root of 4 upon 9. That is under the square root side. So now you know that we have done the sum in the previous class. I have told you that square root of x square was there. So what happens? The square and the square root sign goes, and what will be left here? X. The same manner here, the square and the square root goes. Here again, this square and this square root goes. So what is left here? X upon 70 minus x. You know the meaning of x square, children, yes? X square means x into x. So what is the meaning of square root? From 2, you have to take 1 at a time. And if it is cube root, take 3. That from 3, you are going to take 1 at a time. This is square root. If nothing is mentioned, you have to take it as 2. If you have cube root and you have x into x, this means the answer is x. That is from 3, you have to take a single pair, the single number. From 3, you have to take one number, is x. I hope you are clear. Okay. Now let's start with the next one. So x upon 70 minus x is equal to, and when we remove the square root sign for a number, you have to add a plus minus. Always remember, because we have seen that 4 is equal to 2 into 2, and also this is equal to minus 2 into minus 2. So when you take plus 2 into 2, you get the answer 4, and similarly if you take minus 2 into minus 2, you are going to get the answer as 4. So we have to consider both the signs, plus and minus. How to read this? Plus minus. Okay, what is the square root of 4? It's 2. What is the square root of 9? It's 3. Yes. So we got x upon 70 minus x is equal to plus minus 2 upon 3. Write down the step, children. I hope you are following me. You have to do along with me. Do not waste your time. If you have any doubts or if you have any clarifications to be done, you just can inform to us, children. Okay? So that we can clear your doubts. Okay, so now what we have got? We have got x upon 70 minus x is equal to plus minus 2 upon 3. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to give, that is I am going to split the signs. I will be writing as x upon, so you just can divide the page into 2. I will take the first part as half, that is the plus part I will take, and the second half I will take for minus. So I get x upon 70 minus x is equal to 2 upon 3. Okay, that is plus part. For plus part, no need to mention your plus sign. We can understand plus, and if you don't have any sign, it means it is a positive number. Okay. Next, what we will write here? X upon 70 minus x is equal to minus 2 upon 3. See, children? So we had a sign together. We had plus minus together. So now what are we doing? We are just breaking them up. So x upon 70 minus x is equal to 2 upon 3. Also, x upon 70 minus x is equal to minus. Plus is already taken over here. Yeah. So what is left? Minus 2 upon 3. Okay. So we have done the work. Now the next thing is we are going to simplify and get the answer for x. Let's do it. I hope you are clear with the sums. Yes, children? Okay, good. Let's cross multiply. So 3 into x, 3x is equal to 2. Do not write directly 70, use a bracket over here because we have two terms. So 70 minus x. 3x is equal to 2 into 70 minus x. Let's open the bracket. So 3x is equal to 2 into 70, 140. 2 into x, 2x. What is the sign here? Minus. So minus 2x. I get 3x is equal to 140 minus 2x. I'll just continue here, children. So I'll just bring the x terms together. I get 3x minus 2x. When it comes to this side, it becomes plus 2x. 3x plus 2x is equal to 140. So what do you get? 5x is equal to 140. 3 plus 2, 5x. Okay, so what is x? 140 upon 5. It is in the form of multiplication. So when it comes to the RHS, it becomes division, in the form of division. So 5 2s are 10, 4, 5 8s are 40. So you get x is equal to 28. What is the unit of distance given, children? Meter. So I write here x is equal to 28 meter. We just have completed with the positive part. That is x upon 70 minus x is equal to 2 upon 3. Now similarly, you are going to follow for the minus part. Come on, try out the sum, children. Have you started with the work? Okay, let's see how to do proceed with the step. So we get again the same method. You are going to follow the same method. Only a difference is here we had a positive sign and here we are having a negative sign. So 3 into x is 3x. This is equal to minus 2. Put a bracket over here, 70 minus x. 3x is equal to minus 2 bracket 70 minus x. Let's open the bracket. So 3x is equal to minus 2 into 70 minus 140. Minus 2 into 70 minus 140. Minus into plus minus. Okay. Minus minus plus. This is the place where you have to be very careful. If you make mistakes in sign, there will be a mistake for getting your answer. You will be not able to get your answer. So be careful. So minus 2 into 70 gives you minus 140. Minus 2 into minus x. What is minus 2 minus x? Plus 2x. Yes, I get here plus 2x. So 3x is equal to minus 140 plus 2x. Okay, so let's try to bring all the equal variables. That is, I have like terms over here, 3x and 2x. So bring these two together. I'll just continue over here, children. So I get 3x. This is plus 2x. So plus 2x, when it comes to the LHS side, it turns to be minus. So 3x minus 2x is equal to minus 140. 3x minus 2x is equal to minus 140. Okay, what is 3 minus 2? Yes, it's 1. So x is equal to minus 140 meter. Okay. Now here we have two values. Yes, children. I got two values here. One is what? One is a positive value and one is a negative value. So which value are you going to discard? Which value are you going to discard here? Negative. X will not be minus 140 because the distance will not be negative. The distance will be always positive. So what value of x are we going to consider? Yes, we have to take x is equal to 28 meter. Why? Because this is positive. And what about this value? Why I am not going to take this value? Because this is negative. We cannot write the distance as negative. We cannot say minus 2 meter, or we cannot say minus 2 kilometer. My house is about 2 kilometer. We say my house is about 2 kilometer, or I am just living 5 kilometer far away from here. So plus, we use a positive number. So we should never take a negative number for the distance. So let me complete the statement. I'll just write over here. You follow it. Write down. X cannot be minus 140 meter since distance cannot be negative. Since distance cannot be negative. Okay. Therefore, x is equal to 28 meter. So we have to consider the value for x as 28 meter. Done. So now we have to find out here. Let's see the last statement, children. So we have to write the final statement. So let's complete the final statement. Where should a person stand? Okay, so now we have to find out the exact position. So where he should stand. Now we have seen in the figure that there were two opposite galleries. Okay, so where he should stand so that he is able to hear the intensity, that is same intensity of the singer's voice. So write down. So from gallery 1, pose. From gallery 1. So what will the distance from gallery 1? So from gallery 1, the distance will be, or I'll write here, the distance a person should is that? The distance of a person should stand from gallery 1, and right from G1. You know what is G1? From G1 to here, the distance a person should stand from G1 to here, the same intensity of singer's voice. Same intensity of singer's voice is 28 meter. Okay, just I have explained to you as it's given in the question. In simple term you can say distance of a person from second gallery. From G2 is, what was the second gallery from G? We had two galleries, G1 and G2, and we had a distance of 70 meter, and I told you the first part is for x and the second one is 70 minus x. So if the first one is 28 meter, the second will be 70 minus x. What is x? 28, which is equal to, what is 70 minus 28? 42 meter. You just can complete the sum. So if a man, that is to hear the voice clear, that is to hear the intensity, same intensity of the singer's voice, from gallery 1 the distance should be 28 meter, and from gallery 2 the distance should be 42 meter. So with this we complete our sum number 7. Have you taken down, children? Okay, good. Now we are going to continue with the 9th sum. I hope you have completed. So I have given you 8th and 10th as homework. I hope you have completed it. Yes? Okay, good. So now let's move to the 9th sum, which is the last sum from this exercise. Already we have completed 8th and 10th as homework. So now you are going to take down the 9th question. Take down the 9th question. Do not waste your time, children. So just follow the steps properly so that you can just prepare your maths well. Okay, let's come to sum number 9. Let's read the sum. You go on writing down the sum, I'll read for you. 2 women together took 100 eggs to a market. So we have 2 women. So what about here? So the information about 2 women are given, and they are going to take 100 eggs to a market. So total number of women 2 and total number of eggs 100. Okay. One had more than the other. So they are not going to take equal number of eggs. One has more than the other. If suppose the first woman is having 40, the next one will have 60. Or if one is having, what is that? It's more. One is having less and one is having more. So they don't have equal number. So one is having 30 means the other will have 70. I am not giving you the answer. It's just a way of just explaining to you. So one had more than the other. That means they are not having equal number of eggs with them. Are you clear with the statement, children? Okay. So how many women are going to the market? Number of women that goes to market? 2. And how many eggs are they carrying along with them? 100. Okay. And what is the condition given? One had more than the other. So they don't have equal number of eggs with them. There is a difference with the eggs. But both sold them for the same sum of money. Both sold them same, what is that? Both sold them for the same sum of money. That means both of them are earning the same money. I may have 30 eggs and you are having 70 eggs. Now what are we doing in the market? We are just selling the eggs in the market. So when we sell the egg in the market, you are also going to get the same amount of money and I am also getting the same amount of money even though I have less eggs with me. You are having more eggs with you but I am having less eggs with me even though we are going to earn the same money. Okay. The first then said to the second. So they are having a conversion after all the selling. So they went to the market, they sold their eggs and on the way back there is a discussion. What is the first woman saying? She is saying to the second, she says, if I had your eggs. She says, if I had your eggs, that is if along with your eggs, if I had your eggs, I would have earned rupees 15. Who is saying, the first woman is saying to the second woman that if I had your eggs, I would have earned rupees 15. I would have earned rupees 15. Okay. Now the second one is saying to the first, what she is saying? If I had your eggs, I would have earned 6 2 upon 3 rupees. How much you would have earned? 6 2 upon 3 rupees. How many eggs did each had in the beginning? So now what are we going to do? We are going to find the number of eggs with the first woman and also we are going to find the number of eggs with the second woman. So let's proceed our sum, children. I hope you are ready with the question and also you are clear with the question. So let's follow up and let's try to get the value of eggs. So we are going to find out how many eggs were there with first woman and also the number of eggs with second woman. Let's move to the sum. Okay. So I'll just put here woman 1 and woman 2. So first woman and first is what? Second woman. I'll just give the heading here woman. Okay. So woman, first woman and second woman. Okay. Now I'll write about number of eggs. If, listen to the statement clearly, children. Can you see this? I'll just write down little in the middle of the board. Okay, see here. So women, we have first woman and second woman. I'll just put here W1 and W2 for the women. Now let's talk about number of eggs. If the first woman has X eggs, it's like the previous sum we have done. Total distance was 70 meters, children. So from 70 meter, if the person is standing at a distance of X meter, so what will be the remaining distance? From 70, now he is standing at a distance of X. So what is the left out distance? 70 minus X. Similarly, here the total number of eggs were 100. Now how many eggs are with W1? With the first woman, it's X. See, we don't know what is the number of eggs with women. So I am just considering the number of eggs with woman 1 as X. Okay. If the first woman has X number of eggs, what about woman 2? Yes, she is going to have 100 minus X. The same logic that we used in our previous sum. Yes. So the balance, yes, if she is having 40, here she is going to get 60, that is 100 minus X. Okay, so we have taken the next step. Now see the amount that they are going to earn. So I'll say here amount. I'll write here A and B, that is for woman 1, I'll write the amount as A. That is she is going to earn, because already here X and X is used. So we will not use Y here, we will use A, B, C, like that we can use. We can use any letter that's of your choice. You can give L, M, N, M, yours. What is the amount the first woman is going to earn? She is going to earn the amount A. And what is the amount that W2, second woman, is going to earn? Let's assume it as B. I don't know what are they going to earn. So just mention it as A and B. Okay, children? Now, let's come for the next one. So what is the total amount they are going to get now? Total amount. What are they going to get? Now, How many eggs is the first woman selling? She is going to sell eggs, 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 eggs. Okay, be careful. Eggs, eggs. And what is the amount she is going to get? A. So what is the total amount she is going to have now? Ax. Yes, she will have Ax amount. See, this is a clear thing. If you have, I not go for the unknown values. If I just give you an example. If you have one pen for rupees 5, okay, it's like this. See, number of pen and amount. So if you have one pen with you and the amount is 5, so what would be the total amount of the pen? It's 1 into 5, it's going to be 5. If you have 2 pen and amount is 5, it will be 2 into 5. That is 10 rupees. Getting the point? The same manner we are writing this table. So the number of eggs were x and the amount was A. So what are you going to say? It will, the total amount will be Ax. Clear? Okay. Now let's come to the second one. What will be the number of eggs she is having? The second woman has 100 minus x eggs. And what is the amount she is going to get for that? B. So what will be the total amount, children? It will be B into 100 minus x. So what will be the amount? B 100 minus x. Okay. So let's continue our sum. So no problem, okay. So we have filled the number of x, we have taken down the amount, and we have also written the total amount. So now let's try to proceed for the next step. See the question here, children. So what was the conversion? So they had some conversion after selling the eggs on the way back home. They would have some conversion. So what is the first woman saying? She says, if I had your eggs. If I had your eggs. What is the number of eggs with the second woman? 100 minus x. So what you are going to write down? So this is after the conversion. Okay, children? So after the conversion, just put here the conversion. If I had your eggs. So A is saying the amount is going to be the same. That is A. And here you have to write 100 minus x. So if she is saying if I am having your eggs, I am going to earn how many rupees? 15 rupees. Okay. And what is the second woman saying? She says, if I had your eggs, I would have earned rupees 6 2 by 3. So what is the x with the first woman? X. And what is the amount she is having? B. So you have to write here, B into x is equal to 6 2 upon 3. So this is the conversion they are having. Okay. So we have to use all these equations and we have to get the value for x. Clear? I hope you are clear with the table. So we are going to follow this table and we are going to complete the sum. So number of x, x. Number of x with woman 2, 100 minus x. What is the amount she is going to give? She is going to have for the x? A. And what is the amount the W2 is going to have? B. Total amount? Number of x into amount, Ax. Number of x into amount, B into 100 minus x. Okay, now what is the conversion going between the first woman and the second woman? She is saying, if I had your egg, it's A 100 minus x. A. If I had your egg, 100 minus x. If I am having your egg, I have fixed the amount. What is the amount I have fixed? A. I will get the amount, rupees 15. Similarly, the second woman is saying, if I have your egg, if I had your egg, that means number of x is Ax. And what is the amount she has fixed? B. I will get 6 2 upon 3 rupees. So now let's follow the condition. Let's go for the next step. See the next, read the next statement. And they have given you in the second statement itself, both sold them for the same sum of money. So both of them are going to get the same money. That is, I have to consider the total amount. I'll write here. Ax is equal to B, 100 minus x. This is given to us. I'll put this equation as number 1. Both are going to get the same sum of money. Even though I have less number of x or the second woman is having more number of x, no matter, we are going to get the same amount. Okay. Now, next. What is the next thing we are going to do? And we have got two conversions over here, children. So let us take the conversion. 100 minus x is equal to 15. I want to write down this expression in the form of A. So A is equal to, take this 100 minus x to the RHS part. You get 15 upon 100 minus x. This is number 2. So what is the value for A? 15 upon 100 minus x. Okay. So now let's take the second conversion, that is what the second woman said to the first woman. If I had your x, that is if I had your x, I would have earned 6/2 upon 3. So take the second condition. Bx is equal to 6/2 upon 3. 6 3s are 18. 18 plus 2, 20. So Bx is equal to 20 upon 3. So try to get the value for B. I want the value for B. I'll put here B is equal to 20 upon, the x will go down. Okay children, this is multiplication, so it will go down. So division. So B is equal to 30 upon 2x. Number 3. Write on the steps. The thing is, you have to understand the conversion between them. Once you are clear with the conversation, we will be easy. We can just apply the conversion, we can apply the conditions, and we can get the value for x. Okay. Now here, let's move to the next step. So now what are we going to do here is, we are going to substitute the value for A and B in equation 1. I have got the value for A. Yes, this is, what is this A? From where are we getting A value? A conversation between the first woman and the second woman. First woman is speaking to the second woman. How are you getting the value for B? A second woman is speaking to the first woman. So now what are we going to do? We are going to substitute the value for A and B in 1. See here, we have a equation 1, yes? So you are going to put the value for A and B in 1. Let's put the value over there and let's solve it. So this is equal to, A is what? 15 upon 100. Right? 15 upon 100 minus x is equal to, into x, one more thing is there, x, into x is equal to B. 20 upon 3x, 20 upon 3x, 100 minus x. Be careful, 15 upon 100 minus x into x is equal to 20 upon 3x, 100 minus x. Okay? So let's try to simplify it. Shall we proceed? Have you taken on the steps? Okay. Now what I will do is, just check the numerator part and check the denominator part. What is the numerator part? You are having 15x, and what is the numerator here? 20 into 100 minus x. What is the denominator here? 100 minus x. And what is the denominator here? 3x. Okay. So what are we going to do? We are going to see if anything gets cancelled in the numerator part or anything gets cancelled in the denominator part, because we have a equal to sign. So see here, 5 3s are 15 and 5 4s are 20. 3 and 4, 5 3s are 15, 5 4s are 20. So let's write the simplified part here. So 3x upon 100 minus x is equal to 3 into x, 3x upon 100 minus x is equal to 4 upon 3x, 100 minus x. Please do not cancel this 3x and 3x. We have a equal to sign here. If you have a multiplication sign, then only we can cancel. Now we cannot do anything, okay? So when you have an equal sign, you can cancel the numerator and also you can cancel the denominator. Okay, done. So we have come to this step. Now let's try to cross multiply and get the simplification. So I get here 3x into 3x. What is 3x into 3x? Just write here 3x square. Do not multiply the numbers. Just keep it. I'll just tell you what is the work over there. So 3x into 3x gives you 3x the whole square. We know that 2 into 2 can be written as 2 the whole square. 2 into 2 into 2 means 2 cube. Similarly, 3x into 3x, 3x the whole square equal to 4 is alone. 100 minus x, 100 minus x. So 2 times 100 minus x. So you have to write here 100 minus x the whole square. Okay, see here, this is a square, 4 is a square of 2, this is again a square. So what are we going to do? We are going to take square root on both sides. Taking square root on both sides. Square root of 3x whole square is equal to square root of 400 minus x the whole square. I am just taking the square root on both sides. So what I get? Square root of 3x square is equal to square root of 400 minus x the whole square. And I have told you the step that 2 and the square and the square root sign goes off. Again here the square root and the square root sign goes off. And what is the square root of 4? It's 2. 2 2s are 4. So let's write the answer over here. I'll just continue over here. Listen to me carefully, children. Very important step. Yes. So here the square and the square root goes off. You get 3x is equal to, I have told you that whenever you remove the square root sign, you have to put a plus minus sign. Yes, do you remember that step? Yes, because 2 into 2 also 4 and minus 2 into minus 2 is also 4. So what are you going to insert here? Plus minus sign. Okay, put here plus minus sign. What is the square root of 4? It's 2. Good. 2 2s are 4. So what is square root of 4? It's 2. 2 100 minus x. So what will be left there? 200 minus x. Okay, now we are going to break the sign. That is, I am going to take a positive sign together separately and I am going to take the negative sign separately. Both were together. Yes, plus minus were together. So now you have to take it separately. So let's do it. So 3x, I just draw 2 columns over here. 3x is equal to 200 minus x, and here 3x is equal to, I took plus here, yes, so I am going to take minus 200 minus x. Let's open the bracket. So 3x is equal to 2 into 100, 200. 2 into x minus 2x. Here 3x is equal to minus 2 into 100 minus 200 minus 2 into minus x plus 2x minus 2 into x plus 2x. Okay. Now let's simplify it. I'll bring the like terms on one side. So 3x plus 2x minus 2x, when it comes to this side, plus 2x is equal to 200. So 5x, you can put a therefore sign. 5x is equal to 200. 3x plus 2x. So minus 2x is equal to minus 200. X is equal to minus 200. So x is equal to 200 upon 5. 5 4s are 20, 40. So I get the value for x is 40 This is rupees. Rupees 40. And here it's minus 200. Which is not possible. I cannot take a negative sign because it is negative. I never say the rupees or I never say the amount in terms of negative. So you have to use a positive value. Okay, children? Okay. Now let's proceed further with the final statement. So how will be the statement? We got two values for x. So we have to choose a correct value for x. What will be the correct value? It's not rupees 40. We are talking about the number of x, children, yes? So 40 and 60. Yeah. 40 and remaining what you will get? 60. 100 minus 40? 60. Yes. Write down. X cannot be minus 200 since number of x cannot be negative. Therefore, x is equal to 40. That means number of x with first woman is equal to 40 and number of x with second woman is equal to 100 minus 40 which is equal to 66. Yes, children, I hope you are clear with the steps. We have done a new method today, that is we have taking the square root and we have simplified the sums. So this is also one of the method that we can use to get the value of unknowns. So we have completed our exercise 3.12. And I'll be just continuing with the next exercise in the next class. And before we stop today's class, I will just give you some homeworks and assignments. So just take a note of the homeworks and the assignments. Okay, so take down the homework, children, first. Your homework is okay, write down. Solved example. You may feel that ma'am is giving you solved example as homework and we can just copy the solved examples as it's given. I want the steps. You have to follow the steps and you have to give the answer. So homework, solved examples, 3.37 and again you just complete 3.39, that is till 3.40, 3.37, 3.38 and 3.39 and 3.40. It's totally 4 sums is your homework. 4 sums. So what is the homework? From 3.37 to 3.40. And for your assignments, come to page 132. Come to page 132. I hope you have all the graph notes with you. We have done sums from graph here, children. So your assignment will be question number 1. That is from exercise 3.15. I'll just rub here. What are the assignment questions? Exercise 3.15. Question number 1. You have totally 6 graphs. I don't want total 8 questions are there. I'm just focusing on question number 1, the 6 subparts from 1 to 6. 6 graphs. So you have to plot your graphs in a graph paper. Clear with the assignment, children? Okay, so you have totally 6 graphs for your assignment. Complete the assignment and you have to just keep it ready and you have to follow with the homework. You know what are the methods for homework? You have to complete your homework and you have to submit the day itself. And we will be continuing with the next exercise in the next class. Okay children, so we stop over here.